Believe it or not, right now there are two maps on the screen. One is of Los Angeles, and the second one is of Los Santos from GTA San Andreas. Here, this little dot. Why is it so little? Because they're both shown at their real scale. Just like in this image, there's the map of New York, and that little point here is the map of Liberty City. Now, is that the correct solution? You know, that GTA cities are so small compared to their real-life counterparts? Now, what if they were as big as they are in real life? Wouldn't it be more fun? How would it affect gameplay? What's stopping Rockstar from implementing gigantic maps? Or maybe that's their deliberate decision. I'll bet, well, okay, let's not go crazy here. $2 that if I asked you whether you'd like to have real-scale cities in GTA, you'd answer that you absolutely would. And yeah, that makes sense. The bigger the better, right? Even Candy thinks so. You're not alone in feeling that way. Seriously, that's nothing unusual. It seems like it would be paradise. So many places to explore, so much to discover. Suddenly, in order to visit the US, you don't need to save money for a plane ticket. You turn on your PC, hop into a Banshee, and off you go. On top of that, you never run out of fuel. You don't need to pay for gas, so you save even more money. In the game, there are hundreds, no thousands of hours worth of content. Let's take Liberty City. We'll exclude Alderney to make things simple. It turns out that Liberty City is 100 times smaller than New York. Now imagine a Liberty City that's 100 times bigger in GTA 4. Make the US 100 times bigger than it is now, and it'll fill the entire planet twice. So which thesis are we going with? Are real-scale GTA cities a bad idea or a good idea? After all, players have always complained that the maps are too small and that they're running out of content too quickly. Okay, so let's imagine the following scenario. Well, actually, let's first assume that someone invents a new technology that allows for implementing the real world into a video game. And no, not in a way Microsoft Flight Simulator does. There, it only works because we're always looking at the world from a very high altitude. At ground level, it wouldn't hold up. The map isn't detailed enough, no collision detection, no interiors, and so on. That's out of the question. So let's assume that Rockstar's been working for the last 30 years to recreate LA one-to-one. Let's also assume that there's no problem with rendering such gigantic terrain, that the game doesn't take up petabytes of disk space. Actually, let's just assume that there are no technical limits at all. Right, so we have a scenario where Los Santos in GTA 5 is a perfect digital copy of Los Angeles and its surrounding suburbs. We're doing the Merryweather heist. The mission seems promising. Shooting, adventure, big money at stake. In theory, no problems. The size of the world shouldn't really affect the mission like that. Well, not quite. These are the docks in Los Santos, and these are the docks in Los Angeles. Good luck finding your way through this container jungle. But hey, we can always choose a different approach to the heist. In the offshore approach, we don't have to go to the docks. All we need to do is go to Trevor's airfield, pick up a helicopter, a submarine, grab the thing in the ocean, and go home. Simple, right? Well, not quite. If the map were as big as it is in real life, the route to the airfield wouldn't be 6 or 7 kilometers, it would be 250. That's the distance between Los Angeles and Salton Sea, the lake that was the inspiration for GTA 5's Alamo Sea. Traveling at the average speed of 150 kilometers per hour, that's a 2-hour drive through the desert. In GTA 5, I've managed to get to the airfield in 6 minutes, and that's while driving a tractor. I would have been done even sooner, but I made a stop for a quick selfie with a dinosaur. In general, the missions where you have to drive somewhere would turn into torture. In the city, we'd get constantly frustrated. Few freeways, traffic jams, complicated street layouts. We'd be forced to use taxis, subways, trains, and planes. The entire gameplay would rely on using public transportation just to be able to use the trip skip function. To add to that, there would be a huge mismatch between gameplay and the story. In the mission Just Business, all cutscenes together last around a minute. The shooting section, escaping the Russians, and other gameplay sections take around 5 minutes. If Los Santos were as big as Los Angeles, the cutscenes would still last a minute, but the gameplay section would stretch to half an hour or more. And that's an optimistic assessment, because that mission essentially has us driving around half of LS during the chase sequence. The pacing and freedom of gameplay would be mercilessly destroyed that way. Literally every playing session would have to be precisely planned beforehand. There would be no room for improvising. No, let me play GTA for an hour before bed, or today I'll drive with that car or that motorcycle, or let's take a detour in that mission, and so on. I wouldn't dare take a tractor for a trip to Alamo Sea. No way. All that would matter is to get there as quickly as possible. We'd only choose the fastest cars and the shortest routes. Police chases would go extinct too, because how do you design them? In a real city, chases are extremely difficult for the police. Although streets, alleyways, identical looking buildings, losing the cops would be a lot easier than it currently is. The developers would have to make police chases much less important because they wouldn't make sense. They would be way too easy. Alternatively, they could stick a tracker up our ass so the cops always know where we are. Rockstar would have to design everything very differently or remove certain features altogether. Remember the mission in GTA LCS where Tony plants bombs and blows up an entire neighborhood? To pull off something like that on a real scale map, you'd have to give Mother Nature a call and politely ask for a proper earthquake. Or if you fail to convince her, you'd have to find someone who'd buy you an atom bomb. And sure, there is that one dude in a diaper in GTA that would be keen on financing an operation like that, but yeah, that would be over the top, and GTA isn't Fallout. As we can see, a few crucial gameplay features would suffer big time in such a scenario. It seems that GTA with huge maps would be boring and monotonous. It would be more like some kind of travel simulator. But as for whether our vision of a huge GTA falls apart, I'm still not convinced. And I bet a lot of you aren't either. I guess you could argue that the problems I listed are solvable. Okay, so let's go back to the mission with the Merryweather heist. We've already said that we'd have to drive through the desert for 2 hours, but I bet some of you consider that an advantage. You can explore, admire the views. This is the US after all. Here, traveling's always fun. In theory, it sounds reasonable. I even buy that explanation, but you need to be cautious. In practice, for those 2 hours, over those 250 kilometers, there'd be exactly one view to admire. See, the United States is diverse, but it still takes driving hundreds of kilometers to actually experience that diversity. Often, you'll just end up driving for hours looking at the exact same mountain. So paradoxically, we'll explore way more cool locations while traveling in GTA 5. The GTA world is compressed. What would require long hours of driving in real life, we get in GTA just a handful of minutes. Don't believe me? Fine, let's do a comparison. A trip from Los Santos to Alamo Sea in GTA 5 is packed with content. We can admire hills, lakes, rivers, prisons. There's something new all the time. Radars, dinosaurs, a lot is going on. Now what about driving from LA to Salton Sea? Well, it's very interesting there as well. We've got the desert, some sand here, some more sand there, and even more sand over there. And a bush? And some lampposts? Yeah, right. Do you know what I mean? Our default thinking is wrong, because we often look at GTA cities as counterparts to real cities. Vice City is Miami. Los Santos is Los Angeles. We think those towns are just smaller versions of the real thing, and that's not the case. Rockstar don't want to build a city, they want to build a theme park. San Fierro isn't a smaller equivalent of San Francisco. San Fierro is all the interesting things about San Francisco squashed together, while there's proportionally much less of the things that actually fill the real cities, like residential neighborhoods, parks, streets, markets, sidewalks, or crossroads. The truth is that most neighborhoods in real cities look very similar to one another. Then why would you include them all in a video game? It's better to leave most of them out. It's better to throw away those dozens of square kilometers of boring buildings and streets. It's better to focus on recreating the iconic locations because they're beautiful, cool, and we're familiar with them. American pop culture is popular throughout the entire world, so even foreigners often know these locations. No matter if it's Los Santos or Los Angeles, we still have a beautiful beach with a Ferris wheel. We still have Miami's Ocean Drive in Vice City. We still have New York's Empire State Building in Liberty City, from the top of which we can admire the city skyline at night. GTA San Andreas is like TikTok for the new generation. At one moment, we're in Los Santos gangbanging with the homies. 10 minutes later, we're rocking a suit playing roulette in the casino in Las Venturas. And on the way from Los Santos to Las Venturas, we constantly see different views and different biomes. New stimuli all the time. We don't have to wait loads to be able to switch activities. We can spray up the hood at one moment and be racing bicycles down Mount Chiliad just 5 minutes later. Once we're done with that, we roll over to the Real Archangels tuning garage in San Fierro to trick out our racer whip. A full orchestra of content, and all that during a 30-minute playing session. The real cities we live in are essentially live experiments. We don't notice that in our everyday life, but if we see how our city looked 50 years ago, only then we get to appreciate how much has changed. People's needs change all the time, and the authorities need to make sure that the city makes its citizens' lives as convenient as possible. Well, at least in theory. And sometimes it doesn't work out great. Sometimes you need to squeeze something in or build something extra. It's often far from a perfectly ordered system. In a video game, no one would know what's going on. Without the GPS, no player would be able to tell how to get anywhere. Remember how we used to get lost in GTA 3 because there was no map? Now imagine that Rockstar puts us in authentic Las Venturas. They even give us a map, but they don't give us GPS navigation, because there was no GPS in GTA San Andreas. Even CJ doesn't know what it is.
First, what's the GPS?
Meanwhile, GTA's worlds are created from A to Z in one go. The objective isn't that the NPCs have a convenient life. The goal is for the player to enjoy themselves. And that allows them to prepare the world precisely for that purpose, from start to finish. Not only do we have only the most iconic locations, but they're also arranged in a convenient way. In GTA San Andreas, the developers connected two areas based on two American states, Nevada and California. They gave us 3 huge cities right next to each other. They very neatly connected them via freeways. Same in GTA 5, where we have a freeway circling the entire world, which goes through all the crucial hotspots. The Four Dragons Casino, which is important in SA's story, is placed right next to the main road. You enter the city and the mission trigger is right around the corner. It only takes a handful of turns to get from the ghetto to downtown. Not only that, but both locations dramatically differ from each other. Nothing merges together. There's a clear distinction. The iconic locations are fantastic landmarks. The brain learns its surroundings much more easily. Oh, I see the Vinewood sign. Mad Dog's mansion must be nearby. Okay, here's the museum in Middle Park. Roman's crib can't be far. Oh, Escobar Airport. Then it must be close to the military base. And if some locations turn out to be awkwardly separated, no problem. Rockstar can quickly paste in a bridge or a tunnel. And besides, do GTA cities even seem as small as they actually are? I don't know about you, but for me, they seem huge even now. Rockstar does that consciously. They apply the right render distance. They use fog that restricts our view and adds a bit of a mysterious vibe. Despite all that, big maps could still exist in GTA, but there's one very demanding condition that would have to be met. Let's imagine a pizza. The pizza has the perfect amount of cheese, mushrooms, salami, and sauce. It's simply ideal. That pizza is the GTA world. The real cities are a much bigger pizza, but they both have roughly the same amount of toppings, so you often end up chewing pastry alone. You feel that the proportions don't match, and which is better, to eat a smaller yet perfectly composed pizza, or fill yourself up with dry pastry? I don't know about you, but I'd personally prefer the first option. The pizza analogy gives us a good perspective on the situation we deal with in GTA. It shows that by making the map bigger, you'd also have to proportionally scale up all the other elements of gameplay. Otherwise, it'd be boring as hell. What really counts isn't the scale, but content density. And yeah, there are games with authentic maps where that approach works great. Euro Truck Simulator, American Truck Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator. But those games are simulators. Simulators where driving or flying is the main attraction. There, traveling and realism are the reward, whereas in GTA, traveling is simply the space between rewards. At the end, it's only right to recommend this video to you, where we analyzed why the countryside areas make up such a huge part of GTA. Meanwhile, thanks for watching, and a big thank you to the supporters. Take care and see you soon.